All right. Thank you for joining us today to hear about our newest transfer initiative, Degrees to Succeed, a dual admission program designed to get you on a seamless transfer pathway. So I am Ann Gamble. I am the Director of Transfer and Degree Acceleration, but I am also a CCBC graduate, class of 2004, and I also went through the transfer process. And when I was going through the transfer process all those years ago, I really struggled. And so we've designed this program really to deal with many of the struggles our students experience when they transfer. So as we go through, if you could hold your questions to the end, we want to make sure that we get through everything. And then we also want to let you know this is also being recorded. So we're happy to share the link to the recording as well as the PowerPoint if you are interested. And I am joined today by my dear colleague,
Rachel. Hi, I'm Rachel DeLauder. I'm an academic advisor here at CCBC on the Essex campus, and I'm looking forward to talking with you about the Degrees to Succeed program and how we can have success here for transfer purposes.
Great. All right, we're jumping right in.
Okay, so dual enrollment versus dual admission. So dual enrollment is when you take courses concurrently at CCBC and another institution. While you may receive a discount, there can be challenges when it comes to financial aid, as you can only be enrolled and receive financial aid from your home institution unless there's a consortium agreement. There are no other associated benefits with dual enrollment. If this is something you're interested in, you can take advantage of this via the Baltimore Student Exchange Program. For dual admissions, you are enrolled at CCBC and apply for admission to one of our Degrees to Succeed partners. As part of being conditionally admitted, you stay enrolled at CCBC and complete your degree program, but you have access to various benefits provided by the 4-year, which we will talk about later on in the presentation. You're guided through the transfer process, and upon completion of the program criteria are guaranteed admissions. So the next slide. Thank you.
Just want to add that programs like UMD's Maryland Transfer Advantage Program and UMBC's Transfer Student Alliance are partnership programs, but they're not dual admission programs. They serve to make transfer easier for sure and have some similar benefits, but they're packaged a bit differently and have more stringent criteria. So I just wanted to add that before I jump into the model itself.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the model itself, conceptually think you as the student being supported by 2 institutions and having 1 experience. So the idea is that you're duly admitted to CCBC and your 4-year partner of choice. So one of our Degrees to Succeed partners. You're guaranteed admission to the school, but keep in mind, you're not guaranteed admission into your program. So this is important for selective admission programs or limited enrollment programs. Things like nursing, teacher education, some business programs, anything where you have to have a certain GPA or meet minimum requirements or complete like any type of testing to be able to get in. This includes acceptance of all credits for the Associate of Arts and the Associate of Science degree programs with degree maps that sort of tell you how things transfer and what courses you should take for popular Associate of Applied Science degree programs. And so those types of programs are really designed to get you out working rather than transferring. And so you don't take as many general education requirements. So that's why oftentimes if you transfer with an Associate of Applied Science degree, then you have more credits to take than just the 60 to wrap up to get the 120 you need to graduate. So just something to keep in mind. And this is something you can talk about more with your advisor if it makes sense to make changes to your program of study. Additionally, you get to transfer with the coveted junior status, which impacts your ability to do certain things like register early, because as a transfer student, you're coming in the summer or oftentimes right in the winter when everybody else has already registered for their classes. And so there may not be many classes open. And so that's a real challenge. So this enables you to register early. The best part of this is really the co-advising model, because you have an advisor from both CCBC and the 4-year to walk you through your program and walk you through the transfer process, just making it much more seamless. And then you also have financial incentives and scholarship opportunities. It varies by institution what those are, but the idea is we want to minimize costs and reward your participation in this program. And then best of all, you get early access to 4-year campus academic and student support resources. Again, the resources will vary by institution, but all students will receive an ID card and have access to the university's campus, which is really awesome, because then it gets you off our campus onto their campus. And then by the time that you do transfer and you've earned your degree, you know your way around, you know people, and it just makes it a lot easier when you get to that point.
So student benefits here. By getting on a pathway to degree completion, you will save significant money and time. By us building in a wraparound support, including the co-advising that we were talking about, community building, and opportunities for engagement and communication with the 4-year partner, your transfer experience is greatly enhanced and becomes, like we were saying, much more seamless as we send you off, and you'll feel much more prepared. The goal is to minimize what's called transfer shock and ease the transition from CCBC to your transfer destination. Like Anne was mentioning, even when it comes to already walking around the campus and maybe going to their writing center, that shock of being somewhere new is eased and lightened for you.
Okay, so how do you learn about Degrees to Succeed? So I'm going to take you to the landing page, but first I just want to mention that this is really a college-wide effort. We're trying to change the culture around transfer. We want you as students to know and understand the benefits of earning a degree before transferring, and how leveraging a program like Degrees to Succeed is really a great pathway to a seamless transfer experience, because we know that transfer can be very complicated. And as I mentioned, I went through it myself. And so we really put a lot of time and effort into building out this program. And we've brought on, our partners, and they're very much wanting to make sure that you also feel welcomed and supported at the same time. So to do this, we need you to explore the various Degrees to Succeed program options and resources, and we expect that's going to continue to grow. This is our semester that we're launching these, but I expect we'll continue to bring more schools on board and to expand the various resources to support you in your experience. Attending Degrees to Succeed events or information sessions like this one is really, to your advantage, because we want you to find the best fit for you. And so going along with that, really, it's about talking to your people. So that could be your advisor, your faculty members, your coordinator, any type of mentor that you have here to determine what program is really going to be the best fit for you. And you're not by any means tied to it. It's just the idea that we want you to feel connected and engaged with the 4-year long before you transfer. And you might go through the process, join, and find out that that school's not for you and decide to withdraw from the program, and that's totally okay. And then you find another program that might be a better fit, and that's much better than going through the whole transfer process, getting onto campus, and finding out it's not a good fit. So we feel really good about this. And then it's really, you get to the point when you decide, and then you apply for the Degrees to Succeed program you're interested in. So now I'm going to shut this down so that I can take you to the dual admissions page. And Rachel, can you confirm that what we're seeing on the screen is the dual admissions page? Thank you. All right, so this is ccbcmd.edu/dual admissions, or it will also be called Degrees to Succeed. And it tells you a little bit about the program benefits, much of what we already just covered. And this applies to all the schools across the board. And so then we have our participating four-year transfer partners, and each partner has their own page where you can learn more. And so we're going to go through these one by one. But for example, I know a lot of students are really interested in UMBC. And so if we click here, it takes us to UMBC's page. It tells us a little bit about UMBC, gives us some contact information here on the right-hand side. And then here is the program itself, and it tells you what the program benefits are specific to that program. And you can see the benefits, the bullets get longer because there are more benefits associated with this program. And then it spells out what the eligibility requirements are and then what the next steps are. And so essentially you get to this point after you've talked to your advisor, you've thought long and hard, you know you meet the eligibility requirements and you feel good about the benefits, then you complete the acknowledgement form, which once you click on it, it takes you to your MyCCBC page. You log in with your MyCCBC credentials, and then you go through, you read the student checklist, and then basically you fill in a little bit more information. Some of that information will be populated, and then you will sign it, which by signing it provides us, CCBC, permission to share your information with the four-year that you're designating as your Degrees to Succeed partner school. And so then, like I said, if you decide, nope, UMBC is not for me, that does not feel like home, you can come right here and you can click on the withdrawal form and you can withdraw. And then if you decide you want to sign up for another program, as long as you meet the requirements, that's totally fine. So just wanted to give you that insight about how that process will work. Okay, so I'm pulling back up the slides. Is that what you see?
Yep.
All right, great. Moving on.
Okay, so we're going to talk about UMGC now as a Degrees to Succeed option school that we partner with. UMGC is one of the partners that are going to accept the maximum amount of credits. They're one of the few who are willing to accept up to 45 credits in documented prior learning credit, including articulated high school credit as it applies to your associate's degree. So if you're a student who does have prior learning credit that's come in and counted towards your associate's degree, this would be a really great option for you because this would be a guaranteed path. They're also willing to accept credits, even if you're in one of our Associate of Applied Science programs that we were talking about in the beginning, or more typically designed for students interested in the workforce, transition to the workforce. If you're a student who's pursuing an AAS, UMGC could be an option for you to parallel path plan for both workforce and transfer. They're giving our students a great option if you have credits earned through PLA, so definitely want to talk with us at the end of this presentation or check in with your advisor if you have more questions about that. Along with giving credit, articulated credit for prior learning, they're giving our students access to the extensive University System of Maryland library, tutoring, writing assistance, career counseling, computer labs, and a lot more. They're giving you access to their network of over 1,200 plus employers that recruit for job-seeking students, and they host their own career fairs. They have one of the best financial incentives where if you're a Maryland resident, you can qualify to complete a bachelor's degree for $12,000 or less. And sorry, as noted at the bottom of this slide, they will waive the $50 application fee.
Oh, no, it's one of the best options, and it's so flexible because it's online, and they really have such a great reputation. They've been doing online learning for a very long time.
Yes, and you would have junior standing upon transfer, and we talked a bit in the beginning about what that means and the benefit to obtaining the junior standing. And they have, you would be eligible for the completion scholarship, as I said, if a Maryland resident.
All right. American Public University System, they are another online institution, and they're great because they're willing to accept up to 90 credits. And we've just recently signed what we call a 3+1 agreement. So essentially, that's going to provide a pathway for about a dozen of our programs whereby you can stay with us for 3 years and then finish your final year with them. So you would earn 90 credits with us and 30 credits with them. And so this is a really awesome opportunity for those who are paying out of pocket, because our cost per credit is much cheaper than APUS's and any other four-year school, for that matters, cost per credit. But if you are receiving financial aid, that can be challenging, because legally, financial aid can only pay for the cost of the degree program that you're enrolled in. So once you've met your conditions for your degree program, unless you enroll in another program, you would have to move on to a bachelor's degree granting institution or pay out of pocket. Again, that's a decision you would make in consultation with your advisor, with your faculty member. Things like criminal justice studies, that's one of the programs that we're really promoting this for, that can be a great way to minimize your costs, because a lot of times if you're already working in the field, your employer is reimbursing you, so then it doesn't matter. And so anyway, that's something that's available to you, and we're still building these. So as you have questions, just let us know. They, like UMGC, are also willing to accept up to 45 credits in documented prior learning, including the articulated high school credit as it's applied to the associate's degree. And this is a big deal, because not all transfer partners will accept documented prior learning credit outside of the standard things like AP, IB, and CLEP. Anything beyond that, they typically will not accept. And so we feel like this is a real big win for our students. They're also giving our students access to various online, on-demand, and self-service academic and career resources via their Success Center. And this is just a great supplement to what you're already getting from CCBC. And finally, they provide no-cost textbooks and ebooks for all undergraduates, and will waive any technology fees associated with your tuition. So again, a really good option if you are looking to be flexible and go to school online. Rachel?
Coppin State University, sorry about that, I was muted. So Coppin is referring to this dual in admissions program as Pathways to Success. You might see that on their school's website, but it is one and the same. So don't worry about confusing that. It is one and the same. At Degrees, it is within our Degrees to Succeed. They're excited as an institution to have more CCBC students enter through their Pathways to Success, our Degrees to Succeed, that they're giving all of our students a one-time $1,000 scholarship tuition credit and opportunities for additional transfer scholarships, which is very exciting. Students will have access to various campus facilities and services using their CSU ID card. So you would get one of those for that school, as well as CCBC. And we are planning to take students to Coppin for some various student-related activities. They will accept all transfer credits for the AA and the AS degrees that whichever you are pursuing here at CCBC. They will accept up to 45 credits in transfer as well through documented prior learning and high school articulation agreement. Again, as it applies to your associate's degree here, and this is rare that schools would do that. You will have junior standing upon transfer with priority registration and housing, which, as Anne was saying in the beginning, is a really big benefit, because usually when students transfer, they get kind of the last pick of classes. So this would give you access to the first pick of classes. You would get co-advising from Coppin State to ensure that your courses do align with whatever program you're going to choose there, which is another really rare opportunity to be able to work one-on-one with an advisor at your receiving institution. They will also waive your fee.
UMBC. we already had such a great relationship with UMBC. So Degrees to Succeed is really just building on that great work. And we've already started to embed a UMBC advisor on the Catonsville campus, which has worked out really well. Her name is Desiree Sterling, and she's fabulous. And she wants to support CCBC students because, you know, the key is preparation, right? You want to get to whatever school you're going to go to feeling like you took the classes that you needed to be successful in order to take your upper level coursework, right? Particularly those courses in your major. And so that's really the whole point of co-advising, to make sure you're choosing those right classes that are going to prepare you. Upon transfer, Degrees to Succeed students will enter again with junior standing and have priority registration for new student orientation and housing. The housing piece is really key because housing is hard to come by for transfer students. And so to be able to have that written into our agreement is a really big win for us. And being able to get into new student orientation sooner rather than later, again, goes back to that ability to register for classes earlier, the ones that you want, not getting like the bottom of the barrel classes that are left over. And so we feel really good about that. Qualified students will also automatically be admitted into the Transfer Student Alliance, and that's just another great benefit that UMBC offers. And they also, all students will be considered for the competitive UMBC Degrees to Succeed $1,000 merit scholarship. If you're awarded, it's good for up to 2 years of full-time study. Now, because we have so many students we know want to go to UMBC, that's why they've made it competitive. They only have so many scholarships to be able to give out. So it's really important to keep your GPA up because that's what's going to really set you apart, as well as the things that you're doing, you know, outside of the classroom to really, you know, build yourself up to make you UMBC ready, because they are, in fact, an honors college. And so you really want to stand out there. And then, of course, all the standard benefits we've already mentioned that really go across all of the programs.
The University of Baltimore. So eligibility for UB, a student has to have earned at least 3 and no more than 45 college credits, and this includes college credit completed outside of CCBC. You have to have a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or greater for credits completed here at CCBC. The University of Baltimore holds a special place with us when it comes to Degrees to Succeed, as they were really the inspiration for this model for our students as they began with partnering with CCBC with something called Beeline. So we took what was a great model and we made some minor adjustments and made it even better. Benefits include acceptance of all of your transfer credits for your AA, or if it's an AS degree program, acceptance of up to 45 credits in transfer through prior learning and high school articulation agreement as applied to your associate's degree. You will also have junior standing upon transfer and gain access to priority registration. You'll have access to institutional, academic, and student support services at UBalt, co-advising, one of the biggest incentives from an advisor at the University of Baltimore to ensure that your courses that you're taking with us do match the requirements needed for the program at University of Baltimore. They have CCBC transfer grants and scholarships such as the Parson and Rose that serve to reduce and discount your tuition charges. They will waive the application fee along with access towards other fantastic scholarship opportunities geared towards you as a community college transfer student.
They're really one of the cheaper options as well. And so much of their funding goes unawarded. And so I always try to encourage our students, especially if you're Pell eligible. You know, UB is great. They're really flexible. You know, they have some hybrid abilities, but they really are targeted towards the working adult. And so they often will have their classes during the evening. So it's much easier to maintain that work-life balance. And then, you know, a lot of our students get full rides. And so that's really a great option. And then if you're thinking about law school, you know, they have the early admission option where if you're already admitted to U-Bolt, that you could get into and have some of your undergraduate courses count towards your law school courses. So just something to keep in mind depending on what you're thinking about. I wanted to throw that in before I forgot. So Southern New Hampshire University, they like to be called SNU. You probably have seen their television commercials with the big buses. They are also an online institution, and like American Public University System or APUS, they are also willing and able to accept up to 90 credits and are very generous with the credit acceptance. They have outlined a number of specific program-to-program pathways, and so I have those listed here: accounting, anthropology, business, communications, communications and media studies, English, including all the areas of concentration, general studies, history, math, nursing, sorry. Can't do two things at once. Nursing, psychology, sociology, and visual arts and design. And so essentially they have degree maps set up for those courses, and then any other program that's an AA or an AS degree program not listed transfers into their general studies bachelor's degree. So just something to keep in mind, and they'll walk you through every step of that process. They are also offering a 10% tuition discount to all CCBC graduates so that they can continue on. And then you have all the other associated benefits with being a Degrees to Succeed student that we've mentioned.
Towson University. So to be eligible for Degrees to Succeed with Towson, we need to have earned our high school diploma or equivalent and no more than 30 college credits, including credits completed outside of CCBC. You have to enroll within your first year of taking courses with us at CCBC and have a 2.0 GPA or higher. Benefits at Towson include co-academic advising from your advisors here at CCBC and TU to assure that your courses will align with the program requirements at this receiving institution. You will have access to TU's campus events using your ID card with their school, which is really exciting. They accept up to 60 to 64 transfer credits. You will have junior standing with the associated benefits when you transfer in to Towson. You will also gain access to a renewable Degrees to Succeed $1,000 merit scholarship. You'll have automatic membership into the TU Transfer Mentor program. They will waive their application fee, and again, using the shock factor with that ID card, you'll be able to get into their events and use their campus resources to really feel like you're already a part of that school while you're here with us.
And so we only just recently signed with them, so we are still in the process of launching Degrees to Succeed with Towson, but in a couple of weeks you can expect to see them on the landing page because they're not currently listed, but we just had to tell you about it because we know that the majority of CCBC students will transfer to Towson. And so the other thing I just want to mention about the scholarship is that's also competitive, just like the UMBC scholarship, because again, we're going to have so many students take advantage of this. And so they'll only be able to award so many scholarships. So make sure you keep your GPA up and make yourself competitive so that you stand out. Okay, so the dual admissions or the Degrees to Succeed dual admission process really is a 4-step process that starts like today, learning about your Degrees to Succeed option. From here, you'll want to consult with your advisor and then select the program that meets your academic and career goals that you meet the requirements for. And then once you've done that, you'll submit the online acknowledgement form, which, as I mentioned, outlines the student checklist, the program requirements, and provides us, CCBC, permission to share your academic information with the four-year partner of your choosing until you tell us that you want to withdraw or that you go on and graduate and move on. And then what will happen is once we get that completed acknowledgement form to you, we will forward that on to the four-year partner. And depending on the program, you will either receive information regarding next steps to enroll on the four-year side. So there might be another step involved on the four-year side. You might have to submit additional paperwork, or you will receive a welcome email with important details, including information about your swag bag, because as part of the welcome, we want you to be able to represent CCBC and your four-year Degrees to Succeed partner. So just information to be aware of in terms of how that process will work.
We do have ongoing events for Transfer Tuesday coming up. Please continue to join us virtually for these sessions as they continue through the week before Thanksgiving. We'll have more workshops available for you. They're usually from 3 to 4 p.m. Sometimes they change depending on who's presenting and availability going on. But if you go to the CCBC website, ccbcmd.edu/transfer, you'll have access to the events in real time. And we have been preparing for the transfer fair coming up next week. We're really excited about it. So again, you can see all of this information on the CCBC's transfer page on the website. We have a session available on financial aid and transfer, and a couple sessions geared towards specific pathways, culminating with a workshop on applying for transfer. If you see something that you're interested in, but you know that you wouldn't be able to attend, please let us know, because we can send you the recording and we can give you access to that.
So transfer fairs are back in person, and they will kick off National Transfer Student Week starting on Monday, October 17th. So this month, we're going to kick off at the Catonsville campus on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll be at Essex, Wednesday at Dundalk, and then finishing it off on Thursday at Owings Mills. And essentially, you're going to walk in. There's going to be representatives, at their tables. You'll walk around, you'll be able to ask questions, get some free swag, score some treats. We'll have some type of grab and go snack for you. And the idea is for you to go and to see what your options are. And all of our Degrees to Succeed partners will be there. So you can definitely talk to them about that. But you can explore your other options if you haven't really completely decided where you want to go. And so that's the great benefit of having the transfer fairs. And we have these every semester. And so we're just so happy to have our partners back on campus. And again, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed and not knowing, how to prepare, join us this time next week, and we will be talking you through the types of questions, the types of research you'll want to do to be prepared for those few hours. They're going to be joining us from 11 to 2, and we have about 35 visiting partner for your school. So a little bit smaller than we normally have, but a great way to kick off things being sort of back to normal. So we're really excited, and we hope to see you there.
Okay, are you ready for questions yet?
We're almost there.
All right.
Thank you.
So if you're unable to attend the in-person transfer fair on any of our campuses, we do have a virtual transfer fair for you to attend. It's the statewide virtual transfer fair. Our statewide transfer affinity group, in partnership with a few of the local Maryland community colleges, not just CCBC, have extended this online fair for everyone. It'll include Maryland public and private institutions, online schools, and HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. So you'd be able to join that one from your phone or from your laptop. This would be Thursday and Friday, October 13th and 14th.
Okay, And so then we have our dual Degrees to Succeed Dual Admissions Day. So this will mark an inaugural event that we hope to have each semester as we expand our Degrees to Succeed options. So we've invited our partners on campus, much like we have for the transfer fairs, but it's just particularly for Degrees to Succeed. And so you'll be able to explore your options, learn more about what each partner is offering. Also another great place to pick up more swag. And so this semester it's going to be here on the Essex campus. I say here like you all are here with me, but you are in spirit. So that's Tuesday, November the 29th. We've reserved 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock inside the Robert and Eleanor Ramadka College Center. So that's where the cafeteria is located on the upper lobby. More information will be coming. We'll have a flyer. So just be on the lookout and know that that's coming. We're really excited and we're just working through what that event will look like.
CCBC offers tabletop partner visits throughout the semester where university and college partners will visit our CCBC locations and set up a table, usually out front of the academic advising center, where they will have a representative of their admissions teams there to answer any questions that you have for them about the transfer process, admissions, and what that institution has to offer. You're welcome to just walk up to them and ask anything that you might have to say. Faculty, staff, and students are encouraged to review the calendar of events where these will be listed out for you, and also follow us on social media for more information and dates coming up.
Here is our social media. So if you don't already follow us on the socials, please do. This is where we share the most up-to-date information about transfer events. In addition, we mentioned the online transfer center, ccbcmd.edu/transfer. That is also where you can find those calendar of events. So now we come to the place. Thank you, Brian, for holding your questions and letting us get through where we can take your questions. I do just want to point out that we have our campus transfer coordinators listed here. So if you want to get in touch with someone on your campus, please do. They are aware of the program's options and are happy to talk with you about your transfer planning process. So, okay, Brian, what is your question?
Sure. I'm very cautious, but I'm here to ask for my little sister. So my younger sister's in high school, just started high school, and she's debating on she kind of is highly considering doing dual enrollment. Is it possible if this program can apply to high school students or no?
Not at this time. I think there will be some of these schools that will permit students who are, you're referring to dually enrolled. So dually enrolled high school students are enrolled both in high school and at CCBC and at the same time. We're trying to work out how that process would go because they technically are under the age of 18. And so it gets a little bit more complicated. So some of our partners have expressed concerns. Other partners have expressed interest. But right now, we've just rolled this out this semester. So we're not at the place where we can admit students before they've earned their high school diploma. But we are promoting this to high school students so that they know when they get here, if they, assuming they don't complete their entire CCBC degree while they're in high school at the same time, and some will, but many will still have more credits. So that students know when they get here that they can just jump right into a Degrees to Succeed program. So that's really an ongoing question. Do you know what school she's interested in?
I don't exactly know. She says she's not sure. No, she's not sure yet. But what she knows for now is that she's thinking like getting a lot of the gen ed done before she goes to the university in Maryland.
No, that's great. I love it. I think, the fact that students can get their college credits done while they're in high school at the same time is just a really cool option.
Yeah. I know, right? I wish I knew that back in 9th grade, because back in 9th grade, I thought AP and college credits were just to prepare you for college, not to reduce the amount of time you're in college. and now that now that I'm older, I'm just like, yeah, I made a mistake not knowing that, but I might as well tell people so that they start knowing.
We applaud you for doing that. Help us get the word out because, we say it all the time, but I think it's helpful for students to hear it from others who've gone through it and wish they had that opportunity. And that's so much what Degrees to Succeed is. It's like, word of mouth, like, I wish I had this when I was in school because, at the end of the day, who wants to spend time and money? You want to be strategic. So if you know where you want to go, it's a good option.
Exactly. And also college won't even be too stressful once you get all of it done in high school, because I had a friend who basically did dual enrollment in a bunch of AP classes in high school, and then when he went to UMBC, all he had to do was basically 30 credits, basically, when he went there.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet deal.
And it also will save you a lot of money, too. It'll also save you a lot of money.
We're so glad to have you on this call today talking about these things because this is what we need. We want our students to hear. So great.
I don't sound rude. I'm just a very honest person. Very honest. I'm sometimes I'm a little too honest. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, we appreciate it.
If I sound rude, then that's not me trying to sound rude. I'm just naturally very honest.
Not at all. Thank you. Other questions?
Oh yeah, and one more thing. Will these transfer fairs, will tell you, hey, so for these, so say it's for people who finish college but finish high school with no gen ed done. So could you do like CCBC classes while going to university like UMBC or College Park at the same time also?
So it's not that simple. If you're just paying out of pocket, you could, but that's sort of not the best approach. When you think about the cost per credit, you're better finishing your degree at CCBC. Also, if you don't complete your degree and you go to transfer, you lose all the benefits associated with transferring with your degree. So the state of Maryland has some rules as it relates to transfer for students that transfer with their Associate of Arts or their Associate of Science degree. The public, so this only applies to the public 4 years, have to do some things. But when you transfer before you earn the degree, they don't. So they can pick and choose essentially which credits they take. And so a lot of students find themselves in bad situations. And again, the fact is you can only receive financial aid from one institution at a time. And so if you're paying out of pocket, you could be enrolled in both and no one would know the difference, but you're not guaranteed that all those credits are going to transfer. And then you're really kind of, splitting your time between two schools. I think it would be better to go down a road like Degrees to Succeed as opposed to trying to take classes at two different institutions. That would be so confusing to me, trying to remember how it works, because it's very different at each institution. And the idea is Degrees to Succeed is going to help ease you into that. So once you do transfer, you kind of know what you're walking into. So it's less confusing, if that makes sense.
Okay, so what you're trying to say basically is that
getting your associate's degree in CCBC for all the gen eds, you have to know what university that you're specifically transferring to, so you know what specific class to take. Otherwise, it can put you in a bad situation. Unless I'm wrong.
If you transfer before you earn your degree, and that applies to any school you go to.
Oh, so it applies it applies to any school you go to, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I want my sister to take the right classes before she goes to college, not just waste her time on the wrong college level courses before she goes to college.
Nope, the degrees will transfer. The Associate of Arts and the Associates of Science degrees will transfer as a package to any of the Maryland public schools by law. And so The benefit is with the co-advising is that they have somebody saying, like, if you have electives in your program of study, this is going to be a good elective because it's going to prepare you for this class. Or you've got an option between this math and this math, which math should I do? So the co-advising is best preparing you, because each school, when you transfer, is going to be a little bit different. The programs are not going to be identical because ours are the lower level and theirs are the upper level. So the idea is you're prepared to be successful in those upper level courses, if that makes sense.
Can you explain that again? I'm sorry.
Sure. The idea is that if you complete your associate's degree at CCBC before you transfer, as long as it's a public institution in the state of Maryland, all of those credits must transfer. Like, they have to accept them. That's the law. As long as it's an associate of arts or an associate of science, those degree programs are designed to transfer. You're getting the right gen eds, you're getting the right program related courses. Sometimes you have electives. So what I was saying is the co-advising, which is associated as one of the benefits with dual admission, is that for those courses where you get to pick, where it's not laid out for you, the specific classes in your program, it benefits to have the advisor from the 4-year going over your options with you when you have options, if that makes sense. So if you have 2 math options and they say statistics is better than pre-calculus, then you're going to register for statistics because you trust their judgment. But here at CCBC, you could take either one, and even when you transfer, they still have to accept it. It's just a matter of, you know, which one's going to better prepare you for when you get to the 4-year. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that's starting to make more sense. So basically, you can't just go in taking whatever gen ed classes. Basically, you have to like go work with the Degrees to Success program to know what specific gen eds to take, depending on the university you go to. Am I wrong or right?
Yes, that is definitely one way to understand it. Some programs are not going to have, for the gen eds, they're going to tell you exactly what gen eds to take. So you're not even going to have any options. And that's just how those are the classes you take. But the more liberal arts types of programs, like English, for example, you're going to have a lot more freedom and flexibility built into it. And so having that advice is helpful. But still, they have to take whatever you complete as part of the degree, because that's transferring as a package.
And I just want to add too, since you're speaking with us today on behalf of your sister, which is so kind and thoughtful of you, you both are absolutely welcome to get in touch with a transfer coordinator as listed here, or an academic advisor on the CCBC campus as under a student guest ID. If your sister wants to wait and she's not ready to apply to CCBC yet, they're still absolutely welcome to meet with us, have an appointment on site or virtually to talk about this as it pertains to her individually, and have a more one-on-one conversation about her goals and your questions, and we can dive even deeper into Degrees to Succeed and how that will be an option for her when the time comes, as well as answer any transfer type of questions outside of that.
All right, any other questions? Well, thank you so much for attending today. We appreciate your time as you begin thinking about your transfer journey. It's really, you want to start with the end in mind. And so that's what we're here for. Feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. Have a great semester. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for the questions, patients. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.